everyone, and welcome to the third Grand Prix of the 2020 Mar World Championship. This is Professor CC19, and welcome back to the Blazeway, home course of the Fireballs, our 2018 Alg Olympics champions, and we saw a bit of its flaming glory yesterday in qualifying, where Glitter of the Gold Globes, the 2019 champions, claimed the pole position over Evergreen. There on the left side, you see the overall standings after race 2, with the Raiders holding a 2-point lead over Aquamarines. We'll see how things change today. In 3, 2, 1, and we're rolling. Glitter of the Gold Globes off to a good start, but passed by a couple other teams, gaining a little bit of ground back on that first jump. Making it over those flaming jumps gives you a little bit more time, but a little bit less control going down the next section of the course, especially the second one. Sometimes, even though it takes a little bit longer on the jump, it is wiser to go for the momentum steady coming off of it. Going a little bit short, the momentum will be pushed coming up that ramp. We'll see who can maintain position in this race, a absolutely crazy course. We'll see if anyone can pass through the barrier at the end of the lap, unlike we got to see in qualifying. And if so, who might that be? We see our first one, Felly of the Yellow Fellas. Now that is perfectly legal. Only problem is it risks either slowing down or hopping off course, and that is almost what Felly did. They almost completely skipped the barrier, and so did Shade of the Black Knights. They made up one position from that, though. As Strawberry Streamers and Mainstream fall back to last, let's turn our attention back up towards the top as we begin lap 2 of 9. Felly has the lead over Prank of Jack's Jokers, a feat coming from 15th. And then one of the teams that started, I believe, in 5th place in the starting gates, that is O of Team Neon. Scored 0 points last week at Goldenheimring, unlike Yellow Fellas, which got bronze. With Fella, their team captain, Felly, though, running and the first race of the Icy Circuit and all the odd number courses we'll see this year, the next time they run race 5 at the Azure Raceway. Up front, though, now, Felly has been passed by a number of other teams. Off to the right should help them, but they bounce a little too far. The lead is held now by O. We'll see if anyone else can do the same move that Yellowfellows did. With collision on, I think it's more likely. There we see it right again. Prank of Jack's Jokers. Unfortunately, they land pretty much on top of Glitter, and that's going to actually cost them a position. The leaders now are pretty clear. O and Voyager of the Crimson Crusaders, who had to make up many positions out of the starting gates. We saw the hosts with Flame up towards the top 5 a little bit earlier, towards the end of lap number 1. Now they have fallen back. I believe they're in 8th or 9th. At this point, though, 3 laps in, it is a 2-marble race with Glitter trailing behind. We'll see if they can catch up. The pole position trying to get that, the pole sitters trying to get their pole position back. While O of Team Neon had a good run at the Icy Circuit, lost a lot of ground in the last couple laps, and that seems to be the pattern we've seen over the past 2 races, both at the Icy Circuit and the Blazeway. The leaders have lost a lot of position in the final 2 laps. So a lead doesn't necessarily mean as much as it might, because there's a lot of course left to go, almost 2/3 this race as we finish lap number 3, but it is as big a lead as we've seen all season, I believe, for O of Team Neon over Voyager, the Crimson Crusaders, and here comes King of the Azure Royals. They got their best start this week in the starting gates, and right now, very similar to the Icy Circuit performance, making up spots, 3rd place, after lap number 3. However, in the first race, King lost all position, finished in last. That's what's so important about maintaining your endurance throughout this course. 9 laps, you cannot let up at any point in this race, or you risk falling back. As we saw at the last race, as many as 9 spots in 1 lap. When it comes to the final lap, that is very important. Here we go. We see Voyager cutting into O's lead. They are switching back and forth on this ramp. I believe Voyager got it for a brief moment, but then O took it back. And now Voyager taking it back off towards the right. Who is going to go first into that section? About the same time, they are hammering each other on this course. Voyager or O. Who will get the lead out of lap number 4? This is as close as we've seen this race get. But a bit of smooth sailing right at the end, not hitting any of those bumps on the course. Well done there for O, maintaining his lead. 2 consecutive laps now. That's as good as it's going to get for the moment, as we're about halfway through. One more lap until we technically reach halfway done. Sketch of the Grayscales back in third over King, then Flame and Violet. I believe I saw Shade of the Black Knights way behind. Oh, and look at this. We have 2 that are so far ahead that they're actually beginning the next lap before we got up towards the top. To keep up with these 2, once again, Voyager has closed the gap to O, pressuring him. Can they do the same thing? Gaining a little bit of ground, then it stretches out again. We are now halfway through the course because we have 9 laps. And once again, contact between the 2 of them, both of them going off to the left this time. And it looks to be almost perfect for Team Neon. Would have benefited them to go slightly farther off towards the right. And maybe because of that, here we go, Voyager taking their lead. Now hopping straight up, going right underneath them. Oh, back to the lead now, 3 consecutive laps. This is looking good for O of Team Neon. That is pretty consistent. We see going airborne there. Sketch of the Grayscale is going to lose position to King and Violet. Then we have Glitter, Captain of the Aquamarine, Shine, and Evergreen falling back quite a bit. Then on the ball, Fireballs and Icers once again right next to each other with a rivalry. However, at their home course, Fireballs are really struggling. Only 4 full laps to go as we enter lap number 6. They are back in what appears to be a position where they might not even get points at their own course. That happened to the Icers. Could it be a paradox? I've heard of the host curse before, but I'm not sure what the rivalry will play into that as. O of Team Neon now stretching things out as Voyager goes too high off the back wall. It's going to cost them some time. And could it be now 4 laps in a row for Team Neon? If they keep this up, they have a great shot at winning this 3rd Grand Prix at the Blazeway. We haven't seen anybody jump that barrier in a while, take the alternate course. What they're hitting on right there as they go off towards the right, passing right through. And as soon as I say that, we have Glitter of the Gold Globes do it, but it's not beneficial. It's actually going to slow them down quite a bit. They're going to fall back to 5th. However, Voyager has fallen back to 4th place in just the second half of that lap. We have 3 laps to go, 7, 8, and 9. And now Team Neon and O is holding the lead over Violet. Violet of the Ultraviolets. They've been doing very well, getting the lead into the last lap at the Goldenheim Ring, 2nd going into the last lap at the Icy Circuit. They were just never able to hold on, finishing 4th at the Icy Circuit and 10th at Goldenheim Ring. So the last lap has been the undoing of the Ultraviolets 2 races in a row, but can they pull through here, making the same mistake as O in that section? Here comes King of the Azure Royals, no points through 2 races, and it looks like they're trying to get on the board with a big points haul in race number 3. Now all of a sudden the 3 of them close up. It is a 3-way battle, King, Violet, and O. O slips back to 3rd for the moment after holding the lead for a good 4.5 laps. Will they be losing it here right off the back of King? And the lead is lost. In fact, they've fallen back to 3rd. King of the Azure Royals, leading going into lap 8 with only 2 to go. Then it is Frost, who's made up several spots. Then Voyager falling back to 5th place. We saw Glitter and Evergreen, Shine back behind. But what about this? King of the Azure Royals finished last at the Icy Circuit, and they're in a position where they could finish on the podium, maybe even win at the Blazeway. Maybe it's their adaptation to heat rather than the cold at a blazing fast, blazing Blazeway. I said that too much. But now in lap number 8, they've slipped back to 3rd place, now hopping over O for 2nd. They are trying to track down Violet, who goes very high up, and that's actually going to benefit O. These 3 going back and forth. What about those teams slightly behind them? I see Frost of the Icers looking for a good finish. Voyager back behind them. We have 1 lap to go after this. Team Neon holding a slight lead. Will anybody pass through that barrier? The answer so far is no. King is taking it back. It's all about the rebound there. King of the Azure Royals holding the lead into the final lap over O, but Violet has lost their momentum. Glitter of the Gold Globes over Frost now for 3rd and 4th. Then Violet and Voyager, the 2 V names, for Ultraviolets and Crimson Crusaders, At one point fighting for the lead. Now they're back in 5th and 6th place as we enter the final lap. Right now it is a 2-marble race, but we can't count out teams coming from behind. We've seen some crazy things already on this course, and we'll see if the last lap lives up to our expectations. An unusual bounce there for O. Will they be able to make up ground? Now the lead is stretching out for King. A gold medal. Is it possible for them after finishing in the bottom half, earning 0 points 2 races in a row? A win would net them 25. They'd move up maybe even to 4th or 5th place in just one race. At this point, I'm counting on it. Azure Royals and King out of the picture, nobody else in sight, and this is it. King of the Azure Royals wins the Grand Prix at the Blazeway, but look who's in second. It's Glitter the Gold Globes. Does this look familiar to you? Maybe at the end of the 2019 Alg Olympics, if you've seen that, Glitter going to come through in second place for silver. O of Team Neon slips back to 3rd, but for the second time, Violet missing the podium by 1 spot. 5th is Frost, and 6th is Voyager. Sketch of the Grayscales. Here comes that is Captain, then Team Moonglow. 1 more spot for points. Right at the end, Foresters get passed by Jack Jokers, and Prank, no points to the first 3 races. They're going to get 1 point in race 3 to get on the board, while Foresters are going to be the only team left with 0, running way behind, just like in qualifying. Disappointing for the Black Knights and Shade. But important here is on the ball, our leader is not going to get any points, while the teams in 2nd and 3rd are. We see a big 25, 18, 15 for Azure Royals, Gold Globes, and Team Neon. Points all the way back to Jack Jokers in 10th, getting 1 point. Let's see how this affects the overall standings. I know this race wasn't good for Fireballs. They didn't score any points at their home course, but Aquamarines hopping the O-Raiders into the lead. O-Raiders still 2 points ahead of Team Moonglow in 2nd, but look at Azure Royals, 11 spots in 1 race. They are now tied with Ultraviolets, while Foresters still yet to get on the board. Fireballs and Icers, of course, tied at 20. We'll see you next week at Prankster's Palace. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.